SGC here, and we're back for Before and After. A continuation of the Studio Ghibli-Fest running off Netflix, but this one is not off Netflix because of international distribution rights. So this is Grave of the Fireflies. (1988), directed by Isao Takahata. Rest in peace. 2018. So I didn't know anything about him. I only saw Grave of Kaguya in theaters done by him. Interesting tidbit here is that his debut was back in 1968 with The Great Adventure of Horus, Prince of Sun. And for some reason, I think Miyazaki worked on that as well, but in what capacity? He was scene design and key animation. Interesting. And it's also interesting to note that Miyazaki's first film was The Castle of Cagliostro, which is also on Netflix, so definitely check that out. That's his debut as a director, and it's about Lupin the Third. But back to here. So by the time 1988 rolled around, Takahata already had a few films as director. So 68 was his debut, and then in 72 was Panda, Go Panda. And then Panda, Go Panda, The Rainy Day Circus. Like, are these actual films? Yeah, they're actually children animated films. Short movie. This was a short movie, Panda, Go Panda. And then also another short movie, Panda, Go Panda, The Rainy Day Circus. How about Drinko Che in 1981? So it's a manga adaptation. I don't know how that goes. Never seen that. And then it's Gouch, the Chalice. It's anime. I'm very bad with history and most research, as you would know. But anyway, so he's been working on stuff for a while, and now it's his time to shine. Okay, so if you didn't know, Grave of the Fireflies is probably the saddest Ghibli film there is, because it's about World War II, and that's sad. It's set in the city of Kobe, and it's about two siblings, and just their desperate struggle to survive during the final months of World War II. So there's that. I don't remember much about it. I mean, granted, okay, another thing is that it's based on a 1967 semi-autobiographical short story of the same name by Akiyuki Nosaka. Great. And also, yeah, this was written by Takahata, and he directed it. But yeah, like, from memory, I just remember the candy pouch jar tin, the candy tin, and things don't go well. I mean, if you've never seen it, I don't know what to say to you, really. Like, if you've never seen Grave of the Fireflies, just expect Ghibli level of wow. I think. I actually can't really say much in this before section, because I don't remember much about it. Every time I mention this, people just say it's so sad, it's so sad. But beyond what actually happens to the two siblings at the end of the film, I don't remember what else happened. And that's unfortunate. But I'm glad we have our Ghibli-Fest happening right now, so I can go back and watch that. Unfortunately, it's not on Netflix, so I gotta find some other way of finding it. Somehow, somewhere, it'll work. But yeah, I expect that it's gonna be dirty, because you can just see it in the poster of the movie, and just like really heart-wrenching and heartwarming just to see just their relationship. I'm looking forward to it, watching it with my current, cinephile lens, and especially comparing it to what was released under Ghibli's banner of Nosaka, Castle in the Sky. Or actually, this is technically, holy crap, this is the second release of Ghibli. So for Castle in the Sky to go into this under just 2 years is, I definitely want to know what happened to those people. We're like, oh my god, Castle in the Sky was so great, Ghibli is great, and then all of a sudden, holy crap, Grave of the Fireflies, what's going on? And not directed by Miyazaki, what's going on? So I'm gonna go into that headspace and just watch this and come back out not too teary-eyed. But yeah, I do look forward to it, just to see. And it's been a while since I watched any, like, World War II anime, so I don't even remember if I've seen World War II anime. Or just World War II in general. Luckily that I haven't been watching much of those films set in that time. So there's that. Anyway, so that's it. I look forward to it. It's going to be sad, but okay, we're ready. Anyways, this is before, and this is after. Okay, I forgot how sad it is. Like, I knew going in it was supposed to be depressing, but the fact that the movie starts with him saying he dies, it's just, like, wow. Some stuff I actually looked up while I was watching this, because I was just like, man, I want to learn more about this. So, again, it came out in 1988. It is the same year that My Neighbor Totoro came out, and I did not know this, was that Totoro came out as a double feature alongside Grave of the Fireflies. So now think about that. Totoro is so friendly and everything, and basically it is the face of Ghibli. Even their opening credits is Totoro. So, like, looking up some stuff online, it was just more like, people didn't care for this as much, and thank God Totoro was so popular, the toys made the money back for Grave of the Fireflies. It's like, ouch. But again, like, imagine yourself watching. Like, I would want to know which came first, Totoro or Grave of the Fireflies during that double feature. I'm certainly assuming Totoro, because how are you gonna start out with Grave of the Fireflies? Are you gonna force you to go through it? Or, like, was it a double bill? Like, you have to pay for 2 movies? Who knows? So, I don't know. I did not... This is not a retrospective, but someone knows. And I swear to God, like, if I was, like, a parent, too... Like, I'm just imagining. I think this is the biggest, like, thing for me doing these series of this Ghibli-Fest, is that I can compare and contrast of the vibe of previous films. So, now think, guys. Castle in the Sky. Very hero-heroine... focus, like, up in the sky, very fantastical. And then you have Totoro, this huge monster teddy bear thing, and then you have Grave of the Fireflies. Like, who's gonna watch that? It's just sad. World War II, 1988, 40 odd years later type of thing. Can I do math? Yes, ish. And the cool, like, I give them major props for this, is that they actually don't talk about the war. Like, he says it's 1945 and he dies. So then you already have the year of the war. So you know that it's World War II if you learn any history recently. But they don't bring up Americans. The Japanese flag only shows up near the end of the film. And that's it. And there's no real war narrative. Like, it's literally like, something's happened. Like, you can take away the World War II context and throw in, like, a civil war or something, and it's just a lot of people dying. Like, it could have been a natural disaster, and it was just these 2 kids surviving on their own, and I actually really enjoyed that. And reading a little bit more about the production about this was that the sister was something new. She was, like, 4, and apparently in animation, no one has actually animated someone that young, and it was actually difficult, and especially the fact that this story is told through the perspective of the brother, and you can see how he's, like, frustrated with her while she's always crying and everything. And really great voice acting and just animation all around in terms of conveying all that emotion. This is all Wikipedia. Interesting to note, though, there was, like, audience, like, perspective differences of, like, Japan versus, like, I think it was Australia and the US when they screened it, saying how when they left the ant, the Westerners were like, why would you do that? That's so dumb. You should have, like, sucked it up and went back. But the Japanese were like, yes, that is the thing to do. And as a Chinese myself, growing up mostly in the West, I do get both sides. As in, yeah, you probably could have, like, sucked up like the pride and the fact that your aunt just thinks you're like a what's the word, parasite, and you just don't do anything, but you're still there. Like the fact that you mentally like wall that off and stay there, he probably wouldn't have died because of the whole ration thing. Like that was the one thing that really killed me, was that this was totally preventable. Yes, everybody's lives sucked because of the war, but there were actually rations. Like sure, you wouldn't eat as much as you want, but at least you had like consistent food supply. But at the time with these two, they left, they weren't registered or whatever, and they got nothing, and they were stealing and everything, and it was so sad. And yeah. So it is interesting to note, to just feel that, why was this story even told? I mean, granted, this is based off a semi-autobiographical short story, 1967, by Akiyuki Nosaka, and also, yeah, this is distributed by another company, so that's why Disney doesn't have this on Netflix. So I have to find it, so you probably have to find it or buy it on DVD or whatever. That is the thing. I lost my train of thought. So it really paints the picture of just, these kids going through this. And Isao actually did talk about the whole politicalness of this film, like it's anti-war and everything. But, having that mindset watching this, it doesn't really say too much about war, except war hurts. Like, they don't talk about, oh, those bloody Americans or what have you, or like they're destroying our lives. But it's more about this, like, patriotic pride, like especially the aunt saying, like, my son and daughter are contributing. What are you doing? So that's like this mindset of like this boy is taking care of his sister, and he's trying his best, but it's hard when everyone else around him are doing like their patriotic duty in a sense. And oh man, talking about like just that, like I don't know if this was rated. I can't find a rating online. I didn't try looking hard though. But the scenes with his mom, that was hard to watch. Like trying to imagine myself watching it much younger than I am. Especially like how nowadays people tend to be like, hey, this new anime thing is coming out. Let's get you into my hobby, and you introduce a person to this. Or like maybe I'm just trying to picture like, hey, I love Castle in the Sky. Hey, Totoro and this. Looks intense, but let's check it out. And you go in and you bring like maybe your kid brother or sister or your daughter or son, and you're like, holy crap, what's going on? Like that mentality is just wow. So yeah, it is like something I don't think I need to watch again. The pacing actually wasn't as slow as I thought. I remembered anyways. I think maybe I was just watching it much younger or something. But it's an hour and a half, and I think it goes through things. Like nothing really happens, like in terms of the setting, because they just, they leave their home, get bombed, and then they go somewhere else. And then because of the aunt, they move somewhere else. And then because of the aunt, they move out, type of thing. So in terms of setting, it's pretty all the same. So I think maybe that's why I felt it was longer. Now in terms of the music, so this is Michio Mamiya. And it's not the same dude that did the Castle in the Sky or the Nausicaa music. And it shows. Because in a sense, there's nothing too memorable about the theme. I think in terms of the usage, it is done really well. Like it lends itself really well of when the music plays for this like scene. It's really sad and it punches you because it's sad. But it's not like a thematic like, oh my god, this music. But I feel like it lends itself well because you don't need the whole Castle in the Sky epicness, because this is just a very down-to-earth war film and just seeing how it affects kids. And yeah, just the imagery here it's very heavy. Like when the beginning shows, he talks about how he's dead, and it actually shows him like really skinny, and then other people are dying, and then I guess I don't even know what that is, his spirit or something, and then he's with his sister, and he's like red. And I love the scene where they're on the train and they turn around and it's like the fire. So it's like, are they red because of the fire? That was like pretty strong stuff. So I think this sticks with you. And but it's one of those, like, it sticks with you feeling wise, but you don't remember what goes down. So there's that. Because I swear I watched this more than once before rewatching it, and I don't remember much beyond, like, his mom, his aunt, and the candy box. So I think those are the most memorable things. And yeah, it's just hard hitting, and it's kind of neat that Isao said that it's not a anti-war film and it's more about a case study on these two kids surviving with this backdrop happening. And I definitely could see that. And it makes me wonder, if he did try to do an anti-war film, would it have been more child-friendly in terms of, like, trying to bring people in to educate them about the war and the consequences of things like that? Who knows? But anyways, that's it. Grave of the Fireflies is done. Next up is Totoro. So it's interesting that I watched this, because I actually forgot that Totoro was the same year. But anyways, that's my thoughts, and we'll continue this with Totoro. So keep liking, keep watching, and subscribe and share, because sharing is caring. And that's it for this review for Grave of the Fireflies. Take care and stay safe. Out.